So last year, obviously, COVID happened, and it was a pretty crazy thing that happened to the world. We were seeing our wholesale businesses drop like flies because they couldn't stay open, being barbershops. That made a majority of our wholesale customers up. So we need to try and adapt to the market. I was in a pretty neutral position with my partner. She was an ED doctor, and we found out that hand sanitizer in the market was pretty much going to run out in 7 days' time. So one of the things that I hold very dear to my business is being able to manufacture in-house. And because of that, we had the ability to pivot our business and create a brand new product from concept to roll out within 4 days. And as a result, we managed to be the first people in Queensland to be able to supply Queensland Health with clinical and non-clinical hand sanitizer, which we call Germ Killer, as per the WHO formula. And it was a big shift for us because we went from cosmetic industry into the hygiene and health industry, essentially. So there was a lot more criteria and guidelines we had to abide by, especially because ours was the only clinical product on the market. So could potentially kill someone or save someone's life. But yeah, that was what happened last year. It helped our business in a time when a lot of businesses were suffering, and then pretty much it expanded our business in a nice niche where we now do cosmetics and personal hygiene or personal care, which still kind of assimilate, and it made a bit more sense for our company to do that, whereas there were some like beverage companies that made a health product when they're a beverage company, and it was kind of like this one-off thing where it kind of slotted into our brand as personal care and hygiene. So yeah, some of the challenges we had gaining access to this market. So obviously we had direct consumer first. So we pretty much we're in a very unique position where we had a lot of bottles, and we had the facilities to manufacture where no one else had bottles. They're all fighting from China, who weren't supplying anything at the moment. So we pretty much moved almost 13,000 bottles online over a 2-week period of time. But then we were contacted by Queensland Health, and also we're getting hit up by a lot of pharmacies, the wholesale customers, and we had never obviously sold into the government or the pharmaceutical market as well as a business-to-business customer. So it was we had 1 or 2 leads in that, but we had no idea how to deal with them. And so pretty much I reached out to Zamil. I'd known him since school, and I'd followed his career all the way through, running very successful pharmacies. And yeah, he pretty much helped us connect the dots from our existing business model into that new sector for us, and open up a lot of doors so we could connect our products into a market and move those sales through that corridor, which was really helpful. So working with Zamil, I have a very broad business spectrum in my entrepreneurship background, and working with Zamil and the experience I had was amazing because of the different connection points and the lessons he taught me about the industry. And during that whole process, when it was hard to get real information, especially because there were people like trying to screw you over in deals because it was so hectic, no one knew what was happening on because the world was going to collapse. Zamil helped guide us through that journey with as little issues as possible. And as a result, we got some good financial results out of it, and some really great learnings for us to be able to keep going down that industry in the long term. We haven't actually continued to do that yet, but some of the lessons I had learned, and when we do pursue that further, because it's again another sales channel for us, we'll definitely be using Zamil to help us into that channel and leverage out those relationships.